What is up, guys? Pizza here, obviously, and today we're here with Star Trek Conquest. Yes, in the build-up to Star Trek Infinite's release in just a couple weeks, we're going back to the last major release of a Star Trek strategy game in the video game sphere. And we will be doing so with the Cardassian Union, seeing if we can take out an entire galaxy of Deep Space Nine era foes. And in this game, every faction has 3 admirals specializing in either attack, defense, or movement. The Cardassian Union only has attack and movement admirals, so that they can attack better and expand their influence farther. So we'll be starting out with Dukat, because he can move us out, get some good expansion, get some good resources in at the very beginning of the game. And we will be playing against all 5 opponents, so the Federation, the Klingon Empire, the Romulan Empire, the Breen Confederacy, and the Dominion. And we are in. Here is the game. As you can see, we can only see a very small section of the galaxy, but because this is one of my favorite video games of all time, I can tell you exactly where everybody is. Up near the Cardassian Union logo up there in the top is the Dominion in their own little corner. Right around where those stars are, it's a space map. Right up where those stars are next to the word Prime is the Breen Confederacy. Over by Dukat's head is the Romulan Empire. Down by the system is the Klingon Empire, and somewhere in the middle is the Federation. What we're going to do, though, is not focus on any of that. What we're going to focus on is building up a little bit of a fleet here in order to expand as quick as we can into these surrounding areas. Now, we could come up this side and just kind of make sure we're skirting along the edges, but we're going to go for a more aggressive expansion policy, stabbing out right here and then out to here. The Borg, one of the non-playable factions, because these systems are not empty. They are filled with non-playable factions that you have to defeat first in order to conquer that system. And the Borg, unfortunately, are one of the hardest NPC factions to go up against first. And we get this nice little intro telling you who is attacking, where they are attacking, and what enemy they are attacking. And just like the Total War series, you get to hop into these battles if you want, if you don't want to simulate them.
Divert all power to weapons.
Since we are going against the Borg, I do want to try and get them out of here as quick as possible, which means that I had just diverted all power to weapons for my entire fleet, to hopefully get through their shields a little quicker. If, however, I wanted to take a more defensive playthrough, as they are just shooting me with strong beams, I would just hit the shields button.
Divert all power to shield.
And at the risk of lowering our weapon power, we would go ahead and strengthen the shield so that they couldn't get through as quick. However, our main strategy for right now is just to run around and kind of hold the Borg at a distance. Even though they can shoot farther than we can, having them further out means that they are not going to be as accurate. And we'll be able to hold them off for a little bit longer. Come on, get through them. And it's almost done. Get through it. Take that cube out. There it goes. And a little victory of all the ships passing by through our newly conquered territory. And we get to see a little bit of experience in what types of ships he specifically destroyed. And now that we conquered this system, we can go in and we can go ahead and build a mining colony. Yes, science facilities are for research projects and super weapons. Not super important, especially not in the early game. You could also build turrets to help fortify the area, so when enemy fleets come in, they'll get harassed by these stationary things. But right now, we're going to focus on building mining and building our infrastructure up as much as we can. And in the meantime, since Dukat has another movement point, we're going to go ahead and move him out here. We could go this way, but given that the Klingons and the Federation love to expand as quick as they can, just like everyone else is going to be doing, we're going to go ahead and come back this way just to fortify our back system a little bit.
As you wish.
The Ferengi, yes, one of the easiest non-playable factions you will encounter in a neutral system. There's not really any threat, even if you were using just nothing but basic ships. There is really no threat that the Ferengi can pose. The only thing that's an issue is they are quick little nippy things, so they might give you a little bit of a longer fight, but just because they'll outrun you on every step.
Enemy scout destroyed.
And now it's just you, my friend. What will you do? Can you face the might of the entire Cardassian fleet? Don't think you can. And there he goes, dead as a can of Spam. Alright, and that's the most we can do for this turn right now. We're going to go ahead and build up another little mining colony right in here. That's all we're going to be able to do right now, until the next turn.
This is for Earth.
Where we can see, or not see, what the other factions are doing. Mainly, we're just going to hear them yell for a little bit until we come into contact with them.
For the Empire!
And of course here, we get a little nice end of turn report on our science efficiency, which is none because we have no science stations, our mining efficiency, what planets we own, and if we have any space stations. Now what we're going to do with Dukat is we're going to go ahead and move into the Turrel system and see what else is up this way. Zindi, one of the more harder NPC factions. This is kind of a medium one. The only real issue is that they're one of the ones that start out with capital ships in their non-playable faction fleet, which does make it a little trickier, especially if you're going with a smaller fleet. And so since we are facing kind of a tougher opponent, I'm going to go ahead and put things to shields and just try and play a bit of a more longer con with this one. Of course, that big ship, like the Federation and the Borg, they use phasers, not these little blasters. They use phasers, which don't do as much damage, but they do travel much farther, which means that engagements like this, they still have the advantage. Oh, especially if you fly way too close to them like that.
Enemy dreadnought destroyed. Enemy scout destroyed. Shield strength is at 63%.
Well, we've got the dreadnought down, it's just these guys left. I don't see them having any kind of big effect on us. Nope. Try as you might, your shields are out at all too many points. You're down, and you're down.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Done and done.
Promotion gained.
And after enough battles, you do get promotions, which means he can now move more than just 2 spaces, he can move 3 spaces per turn. That will of course take place the next round, but we can see the Federation is already into our system. Now what I would like to do is take Deep Space Nine right now, just off the bat, because it is a very vital sector for us to have. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to create a new fleet. I'm going to take another movement specialist, give him a bit of backup, and I'm going to move him out to where Dukat is. So Dukat can move up to there, and Turrel can move into there, so we'll still have some defenses in this sector. So that if the Federation decides to expand, they won't be able to come get us. What I would love to do more than that is not have them here at all, so I could just take over this planet and create more of a chokehold, because the Klingons normally come from underneath and take that planet, or the Federation come from above and take that planet. Now, the only real danger of attacking the Bajoran system or Deep Space Nine is the fact that whoever is there has Deep Space Nine under their control. And even though it's no different than any other space station in the game, it does the most damage of any space station in the game. So it's good to steer clear of that giant circle right there until you're ready to attack it for real.
Maneuvering thrusters insufficient to clear the combat zone. Enemy scout.
And with them destroyed, now we're going to go ahead and lurch our way up to Deep Space Nine and see if we can take it out at a distance. This is the main strategy you're going to want to use for Deep Space Nine, but it's also the one you're going to want to use for any space station, is just fight it at a distance, because they can shoot pretty darn far. But if you can just take out one single section of their shielding, you can just shoot through that section. You don't have to take out all the shields. Only if you really want to mock your triumph over whatever place you're conquering would you take out all the shields. But we're just going to go ahead and chip away at it, and then just fire away in that one little area we've carved free. Hopefully it doesn't go through any of the other shields, because that would end up wasting shots. But I think on this next little volley we'll be able to take them out completely. And everybody fire everything you got, and there goes Deep Space Nine. We have officially conquered this territory for the Cardassian Union. And I guess it's fitting that Dukat took it over anyways. And now we can see even more of the star map, especially over here. So the Dominion, what they're going to do mainly, what the Dominion AI mainly does, is they focus on just building themselves up in this little corner. They'll come to try to take Deep Space Nine, obviously. But what they want to do is they want to build up their fleets first. So they're not going to expand as far or as aggressive, but they will be one of the strongest opponents. The Breen normally get tied up with the Romulan Empire, and sometimes they can even get repulsed by these non-playable factions, but so far it doesn't look like that's been an issue for them, so they're going to be aggressively expanding just like everyone else. And since I took over Deep Space Nine, one of the best places to make money, I'm going to go ahead and pop down a mining colony here. And in the meantime, Turrel's going to move his butt all the way up here just to kind of head off this Federation advance. And I think what I'll do as well is I'll have him head out to here and head out to here on the next turn, so that we can really just kind of secure our little section of the map. So whoever has to come over at least has to face off against a few turrets and a few possible fleets before they'd ever have to come and conquer the homeworld. Let's see if the Federation is going to move in on us. No, the Federation is off doing something else. They didn't want to come and attack us.
For the Empire.
Hey, that's fine by me. I'd much rather stay where they are so that we can come after them first instead. There's the Dominion building up their fleets. Ooh, but they got repulsed by whoever was there. Ooh, not that second time though. Alright, interesting. Pretty good turn up for the books for us, I'd say. I think our next objective is clear. We could build more fleets, but I think it's best if Dukat just holds here with what he has, and we just kind of push out towards the Vega system and see what the Federation is going on, because I'm pretty sure if we can take over Vega, we'll get a good idea of where the Federation is at. Let's see what the Federation has here. Ooh, this is going to be a difficult one to have. They have built up 2 dreadnoughts already, and they've got a lot of little ships, so this seems to be the main fleet that they started out with, because they've really built this one up. Now, I could retreat, but that's going to waste one of my movement moves, and overall, you know what? I think it's a battle that we can win, and if not win, we can at least do some damage against the Federation here to stop them from coming in any further. This is going to be a very difficult thing to win, though. So everything's going to shields just right up at the top. We're going to fire off and really just run a cat and mouse kind of game here with the Federation. Hold them off our tails, just fire back wherever we think they're going to be at. Of course, we are going to want to avoid the space stations as well, because they do have turrets around them, which would make it much more difficult for us. And there's those phasers firing off, you know, not as powerful, but a longer range will go a long way in taking us out, especially my smaller ships.
Maneuvering thrusters insufficient to clear the combat zone.
And as you can hear, even though they're just complaining, they are taking some hits. Our smaller ships are taking a lot of damage just by being on the back end there. You can see we've done some damage to some of their shields, but not really enough to really count. So I'm going to run away real quick, let some of my weapons recharge, and then I will go ahead and get in as close as I possibly can and take some of these ships out, or at least do some damage. He's got a weak shield spot there. Ooh, we're gonna take some major hits by getting in this close to him. And that smaller ship just took up a lot of my torpedo bombardment that I wanted to unleash at him. There's these damn ships again. These little Defiant classes are gonna really give us a run for our money. They're so, just like the Frankie, they are small, they're fast, and they're nippy. Alright, let's get in as close as we can. Yep, he just hit me with as much force as he possibly could on that one blow there, so I'm going to try and get out of here. But they are really crowding us. Alright, let's just fire back. Buy ourselves some room, buy ourselves some time. Because this capital ship is really my only chance of winning. If my capital ship goes down, but they still have theirs, there's no way I'm going to be able to win it with just these small cruisers. Alright, looks like I got one of the Galaxy classes down. Let's see if I can get the other one out. Because hopefully this is something I can survive. This is going to give them a bloody nose, if nothing else. There's one left. Who is it?
Divert all power to weapons.
Whoever it is. It's just the Defiant. Alright, this system is gonna be ours in no time. The only risk is gonna be if their space station is able to shoot through my shields, or lack thereof. So we're gonna go ahead and take out their little mining processor right here. Undefended, they don't have any turrets, we don't gotta worry about it. We can just go up and shoot it, that's all we want. That's gone, so now we're gonna have to play it really close.
Is within our grasp.
And really smart here.
Shield strength is at 63%. Power conduits on deck 6 and 12 have blown.
You're okay. Our main issue with attacking the space station is it does deal a lot of damage to us. Just like Deep Space Nine, if we get too close, it is going to seriously not hold anything back. And unlike Deep Space Nine, of course, it has phasers as its primary attack, which do a lot of damage and are really not going to be friendly to us if we get too close. But I think we've got this one well in hand. Turn to the side so it can't hit through my shields. And there they go. I think we just took out one of the Federation's best fleets on that one move right there. So that is real impressive.
I always was lucky.
Promotion gained.
A well-earned promotion for that one, honestly. That was such a major fight. And there is the Federation homeworld. Which is one of the weaknesses when you play as the Federation, is because a lot of other people have it tucked into a corner, like the Dominion, the Cardassian, the Klingons, or the Breen are way up top. The Federation is right in the middle of everybody, so they're gonna get attacked sooner or later. And the fact that they don't have a fleet protecting them right now, something they should really be worried about. But not from me, certainly not from me. Because right now, without a starbase, I can't build up this fleet any further. And even if I had the money, I'd much rather go to Dukat's fleet, which we're slowly building here, because he's going to have to deal with a lot of fighting off of everybody here at Deep Space Nine. But that's going to do it for our turn so far. Now we're going to see if the Breen, the Dominion, or whoever else comes and attacks us, and see if we can hold off against them, especially the Federation, who's probably now going to be out for blood, and whatever forces they may have off over there on the right side of the screen may divert back in order to protect the homeworld. Or, worse yet, they'll just pop up another fleet and send it out to Turrel, who I don't know if he could hold it on his own. But that's going to do it today for me, guys. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a like. If you enjoyed listening to the sound of my voice, or you just want to see the other stuff I'm doing on the channel, drop a sub. It really helps out. That's going to do it today, guys. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.